Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Point of View TV Official. I'm your host, Philosopher X, this evening, and I can't wait. I'm super excited today to come on board this evening and actually share some of the topics I would like to kind of highlight what Point of View is about. So without any further ado, I just want to get straight to the point, straight to the hot topic, our hot focus. So tonight, our focus is on Africa. To be specific, Pan Africanism. What is Pan Africanism? Who know what Pan Africanism? Who have heard of the term Pan Africanism before? Well, let me just tell you this. There's more. It's more than just a word. It's actually a huge movement. I would like to take you through some of key elements of what makes you a Pan Africanist or a Pan Africanism, if you want to look at it that way. So, Pan Africanism is all about unity and cooperation amongst people of African descent. You have to think identity, history, and common future. Let me break it down even further in terms of who I am as a person. As I earlier said, my name is Philosopher X, and I am your host this evening. But in terms of what I am an African at the level of identity. I have an African DNA, and I am one of the African native tongues, procreated by Mother Africa. Meaning that I am of African origin, and I want to just keep it as simple and as pure as that. However, now in terms of the realm of ideas of what a Pan African is, I am what you call a physiological materialist. I'm a physiological materialist. i.e. where the name Philosopher X comes from. Physiological materialist is what I am. Ideology wise, I am what you call a humanist. There's a lot of love that I have for humanity as a whole, and I want to stand by that, i.e. why I have Point of View today. While we showcase on Point of View, while we are talking about the hot topic of Pan Africanism this afternoon, this evening. Thirdly, or politically, I advocate for the African continental-wide superstate. A superstate that is governed by one unit and one unity, and becoming one entity. So that's what I represent. Now, Pan-Africanism has existed for a very long time. We have leaders from all walks of life, from the diaspora that has partaked in this movement. People such as Marcus Garvey, very big names. Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara. These are legends who have actually stood under the movement of Pan-Africanism or Pan-Africanism. So it's a very big topic that today we begin to discuss it. We begin to share our thought behind it, and we begin to educate ourselves on what it is. I want to expand a bit more what I'm talking about, because there was one more point I did not include, and that's economic. Economically, I advocate for the production of mechanism to be the most advanced technological mechanism in the world, actually in the experience of mankind. That's what a Pan-Africanist is. So, putting all those four pillars together, or four key elements, key topics, whichever way you want to prefer, this means that it is economic industrialization or advanced technology, way beyond industrialization at its basic form. State mechanism, continental wide, a humanist ideology, and a materialist philosophy. That's what makes a Pan-Africanist. This tells you a lot about the passion why I have been calling myself Philosopher X as your host. It's because the idea of Pan-Africanism. it is such a hot topic, it's such a strong topic, right, that we need to start engaging in. So I want to leave it here today on that notion, right? But furthermore, let me give you a bit more insight. So this movement has rooted way back in the 1800s, actually. You gotta think people like Delaney, Du Bois, Mugabe, like I mentioned before, they were the voice of the freedom equality at the time. They laid the groundwork for the Pan Africanism. Later on, after the World War, it was then carried on by leaders such as Nkrumah, Lumumba, Kenyatta. They all led the charge at that time. So the Organization of African Unity, or the OAU, now known as the AU, United African Union. This information is vital to all of us. But we need to actually start doing the research. We need to start using our platform to discuss matters like this. So I would like to leave it there.